truckers, I'm Jack Roberts and I want to welcome you to Off Duty Driver. This is your online video channel for quick, easy, driver-oriented news, information, and even a little bit of fun every now and then. And we're going to have a little bit of fun today. We're going to talk about one Mr. Kid Rock, the self-proclaimed American badass. And I'm sure you guys have heard and seen that the good Kid Rock had a little bit of a hissy fit in Nashville, Tennessee just a few days ago. He felt like people were dissing him when he was on stage. They weren't getting fired up at his show, and he did not like it, and he stormed off stage. So this all happened at Jon Bon Jovi's bar in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. And you know, I think the fact that Jon Bon Jovi has a bar in Nashville is a pretty good indicator of just how hip and hot Nashville is these days. It's one of my favorite cities. I've said for years that if I had to go live in a big city, I'd pick Nashville. Just a cool city, got a great vibe. The food is great. Of course, the music is off the charts. And, you know, I think culturally, at least musically anyway, it's probably the hottest city in the country right now, a bit like LA was back in the 80s. And I get to go there next month for my gig at Heavy Duty Trucking. We're going to go to the Technology Maintenance Council show there. That is kind of a weird name for what is arguably the biggest, or at least one of the biggest truck shows in the country right now. And there's going to be a lot of news coming out of this show. In fact, I got heads up from Cummins this morning that they're going to have some pretty big stuff to show at this show at TMC in Nashville. So I'm stoked. I'm going to get to go to one of my favorite cities, hang out with a bunch of people in the trucking industry, hear some good music, eat some good food, see some cool stuff. It's not a bad gig if you can get it, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, back to Kid Rock. The event in question was at a birthday party for Bon Jovi keyboardist David Bryan. He's been with the band at least as long as I've known about him. Now, the first time I ever saw Bon Jovi was way back in 1984-85. They opened for 38 Special in Birmingham, Alabama. And I went to see the show. Now, you talk about a weird pairing. We're talking about 38 Special and Bon Jovi. It was strange, and to be honest, both bands were good, but Bon Jovi, quite frankly, blew 38 Special off the stage. And sort of a interesting and pertinent point to this story that I'm telling, even though Bon Jovi was the opening act, one of the things that made their performance so great was they brought a special guest out on stage. And that special guest was none other than Vince Neil, the singer for Motley Crue. And the crowd went wild. And gosh, I wish I could remember what song they did. I just can't remember anymore. But, you know, when the show was over, it was a good show all the way around. But everybody left, I think it was at Legion Field in Birmingham. Everybody left talking about Bon Jovi and not 38 Special, which is not what you want if you're the headlining act. But that's the way it went down. But anyway, Bon Jovi, as do a lot of American rock bands, have a long and proud history of bringing friends on stage to do numbers with them. And a lot of times these friends are not people you would expect them to hang out with. So at the David Bryan birthday, it was Kid Rock was their guest. And now, contrary to a lot of the news reports, Kid Rock, you know, the news reports read like that he walked out on stage and everybody just stared at him and nothing happened. That's not what happened. He did get applause. People were clapping when he came out on stage, and everything apparently got off to a pretty good start. Trouble started when Rock was doing a rendition of Creedence Clearwater Revival's classic Proud Mary, and he starts trying to get the crowd to sing along, and for whatever reason the crowd wasn't into it. Now, I kind of get this. I'm not a sing-along kind of guy. I've never been one for holding the lighter up. Well, I guess cell phone now. I guess I'm aging myself. We don't hold lighters up anymore. We hold cell phones up and turn the flashlight on. I've never been much for that. I'm there to see the band play. It's their job to sing, not mine. But, you know, a lot of people dig that stuff, and that's fine. You know, it's totally cool. But for whatever reason, this crowd was not into it, and Kid Rock did not respond very well. He started cussing him out, which I'm no rock star, but I'm pretty sure if you're trying to win a crowd over, cussing them out is probably not a really good idea. Things deteriorated from there. No clapping, no singing along, no anything. And finally, he just said, you know what? F y'all. If you ain't going to clap, I'm gone. And he stormed off stage. Now, I didn't initially know what to make of this, to be honest. The way the headlines were reading, at first I was pretty sure it was some sort of political backlash. Rock is famously a very vocal supporter of President Donald Trump, whereas Jon Bon Jovi is a pretty liberal guy. I found out recently he is very good friends with Bruce Springsteen, who is a super liberal guy. And of course, Jon Bon Jovi does a lot of charity work, always has. So I got to wondering, hey, maybe the crowd, it was David Bryan's birthday, maybe the crowd was full of friends and family, predominantly from the band, and it just happened to be this one-off little pocket of super liberals in downtown Nashville, and they just weren't into Kid Rock. On the other hand, they did cheer for the guy when he walked out on stage. And look, I play music with people. I'm the world's okayest guitar player, and I play music with friends who have different political views. And to me, the music always transcends that. We're not there to debate politics. We're there to play our favorite songs and play music, and we don't ever even talk about that stuff. So I'm not sure that's what was going on. I think what was going on is that even rock stars can have a bad night on stage. We've all been to shows where for whatever reason things just aren't working. I saw Prince on the Purple Rain tour, and they were having effects problems, and I saw Axl Rose melt down and stop shows. I mean, it happens. And, here you are, you're a rock star, and here's the thing, you're playing at a show in front of your friends who are also rock stars. In fact, you're playing at a birthday for a guy who's in the band, Bon Jovi, and you're not having a good night, and it's not going your way. It's not like you're playing in Omaha, Nebraska, like you're kind of crashing in front of your buddies. I think, my guess is his ego just kind of, maybe not even ego, it was just like, oh my God, I'm bombing in front of my buddies, and you just kind of panic, right? And I just think it was going down in front of his friends, and he just lost control of the situation. Hey man, we've all been there. It's not fatal. This is just my guess. But when I was thinking about it, I started thinking about, believe it or not, I started thinking about truck drivers in this aspect, because all you guys ever get are hostile crowds, right? I mean, everybody hates truck drivers. Politicians hate truck drivers. The motoring public is scared to death of truck drivers. You guys deal with dispatchers, and you deal with customers who really ought to be cussing somebody out back at the office, but you're standing right in front of them, so they're going to take it out on you. And I was watching some videos on YouTube last night. Truckers getting brake checked by motorists, which is just insanely dangerous. And I have a CDL. It's never happened to me because we just do truck test drives. We don't get out on the road and do long haul trips. But you see that and you just think, man, I would just go ballistic if that was happening to me. I just don't know how you guys deal with it. So, but unlike Kid Rock, you guys don't have the option of just flipping your middle finger at everybody and storming off the stage. You got to be professional. You got to keep cool under pressure. Lots and lots of pressure during long days. You got to maintain your reputation, and it's a professional thing. Just storming away simply isn't an option. So anyway, for this early edition of Off-Duty Driver, I thought we'd just kind of talk a little bit about whether or not the American badass was turning into the Nashville candy ass. Did his ego get the better of him? Should he have just been cool and kept on going? Is the crowd to blame for not, helping him out more? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I'm Jack Roberts. This is Off Duty Driver. And until we meet again, hold 'em in the road.